I have not come here to say anything to you. I have come to remind you, because what I am about to say is already within you. You know it, you have simply forgotten it, and this forgetting is your suffering. Today's subject appears ordinary. Do not tell everyone every happiness. But what appears ordinary is often the deepest, because truth does not always make a noise, it descends in silence. Look, when a child gets a toy, he does not keep it hidden. He runs around showing everyone, look, look. But when that same child grows up and falls in love for the first time, he hides that love. He does not shout, he whispers. Why? Because life has taught him that what is precious is fragile. Happiness is fragile. Your happiness is not a stone, it is a bud. And not every bud can withstand every breeze. People ask, Osho, is the evil eye real? I say the evil eye is not magic, it is the energy of consciousness, and energy has an impact. When you tell everyone about your happiness, you unconsciously throw your energy outward. And remember, not everyone in the world is a well-wisher. Most people are unhappy, and an unhappy person, even if unintentionally, cannot bear your happiness. This may not even be jealousy, it is helplessness. A man came to me and said, whenever I am happy, something or the other goes wrong. I asked him, do you tell everyone about your happiness? He laughed and said, yes, I get very excited. He said, that is the mistake. Happiness is not an announcement. Happiness is not an advertisement. Happiness is not a performance. Happiness is an intimate experience like meditation, like love, like prayer. When you sit in meditation, do you beat a drum? When tears of supreme bliss come to your eyes, do you take a microphone and announce it? No, then why shout about your happiness? Understand this, when someone is in pain and you spread your happiness before them, two things can happen. First, they might be inspired. Second, they might burn with envy. The first is very rare. The second is very common. Because inspiration requires courage, while jealousy requires only comparison. And the world is full of comparison. I heard a story. There were two friends in a village. Both sowed seeds at the same time. One invited everyone daily to see his plant. Look how big it has grown. The other quietly kept watering his. The first one's plant was uprooted again and again. Someone came to see it, someone touched it, someone laughed, someone felt jealous. The second one's plant became a tree without any noise. Now think, does one need applause to become a tree? The evil eye is not an eye, it is the direction of consciousness. When someone looks at your happiness and says within, why don't I have this? That very question becomes energy, and that energy touches your happiness. This is not superstition. This is deeper than psychology. It is the subtle language of existence. Whenever you create something beautiful, love, joy, success, let it first grow strong within you. Just as a mother hides the womb, she does not tell the whole village as she has conceived. She knows it is very fragile. And you announce the womb and then you say something went wrong. Remember, protect what is growing inside from the crowd outside. I am not saying do not share happiness. I am saying wait for the right time. A tree shares its fruit only when it bends under their weight. If a bud tries to share its fragrance too early, it breaks. You may ask, Osho, then whom should I tell? He said, tell the one who becomes even happier seeing your happiness. Such people are very few, but they exist. And if such people are not found, then silence is the greatest friend. Silence does not envy. Silence does not compare. Silence does not cast an evil eye. Silence nurtures. When you are quietly happy, your happiness goes deeper. It becomes stable. It does not depend on anyone's gas. And remember, the happiness that depends on others' reactions is not happiness, it is a show. True happiness does not need a witness. From today, try an experiment. Whenever something good happens, do not speak immediately. First, live it. First, let it descend into your breath. Let it settle into your body. Then see it will stay. Because what stays is the truth, and what is true is ultimately worth sharing. But for now, keep it within you, like protecting a lamp from the wind. Because your bliss is your spiritual practice. I tell you again, I am not giving a sermon. I am sharing an experience. Because what has not been seen or lived does not become wisdom. And the wisdom that does not become yours cannot save you. In the previous flow, he said the evil eye belongs not to the eyes but to consciousness. Today, I take you deeper. Unless you understand how negativity is born, You cannot be free from it. Look, most people in the world are miserable, and misery is not a private event, it is contagious. When an unhappy person sees a happy person, they have only two paths: either they wake up or they fall deeper into sleep. Waking up is difficult, sleeping is easy. Therefore, most people choose the second path. Jealousy is not a sin, it is a wound, and wounds often smell. When you put your happiness in front of everyone, you unconsciously touch those wounds. And remember, touching a wound causes pain. Pain becomes a reaction, and that reaction returns as energy. Once told a seeker, when bliss arises within you, let it stabilize first. He said, but I don't want to hide it. He said, there is a difference between hiding and protecting. A mother does not hide her child. She protects him, and in that protection is love. Now understand how negative energy works. When someone looks at your happiness and compares themselves within, why don't I have this? At that very moment, their consciousness contracts. Through contraction, the energy turns dark, and that dark energy begins to flow outward without any conscious intention. This is why I say again and again, most evil eyes are not intentional. People are not bad, people are miserable. But a miserable person has only one language, negation, and negation has an impact. It is just like a sick person sneezing. He doesn't want to make you sick, but the illness spreads. So what should you do? First, do not be afraid. Fear will make you even weaker. I do not teach fear, I teach awareness. When you know that not everyone is a worthy vessel for your happiness, you become at ease. You begin to choose. You don't show your house to everyone. You don't show your back to everyone. Then why show your soul? Happiness is the door to the soul. Whatever happens within you, let it first deepen. Once it takes root, the world can do nothing. I give you a formula: whatever you share should be so firm that no one can shake it. If one word from someone breaks your happiness, understand that the happiness was still raw. Now understand another deep point: silence is not just the absence of speech, it is a shield. When you remain in silence, your energy circulates within. When you speak, it goes out. The energy that goes out will return, but how? It will return as the world is. Therefore, Buddha used to say, keep silent until the right time. Mahavira remained silent because he knew that even truth needs protection. You may ask, Osho, should we then live alone? No, loneliness and silence are different things. You can be silent in a crowd, and you can be in a noise while alone. Silence means not sharing unnecessarily. Let your practice, your love, your plans first ripen within. I have seen that people who keep telling everyone their goal often get stuck right there, while those who walk quietly reach their destination. Why? Because announcement exhausts energy and silence accumulates it. Also understand that when you tell everyone your happiness, you are unconsciously seeking validation. You want to say, look, I am happy. And the happiness that needs a witness is not yet complete. Total bliss is content in itself. It does not need anyone's eyes. Now, another thing, is sharing happiness wrong? No, but share it when it becomes overflowing. A river is sacred when it flows toward the ocean, not when it becomes a paddle for show. I give you an exercise from today. Whenever a happy event occurs, do not react immediately. Let it stay within you for 3 days, 3 days of silence, 3 days of witnessing. If after 3 days that happiness is just as deep, then understand it has become yours. Then, whether anyone sees it or not, it will not break. And then, if you share it, it will become a blessing, not a burden. Remember, show your light to the world, but be like the sun, not a lamp, because a lamp is extinguished by the wind. The sun is not. I am now taking you where words begin to fail, because now it is not a matter of thought, but of experience, and experience is always close to silence. I told you that the evil eye has an effect. Now I am telling you, if your consciousness is awake, no eye can touch you. The problem is not in the gaze, the problem is in the weakness of your energy. When you are scattered within, every wind from outside shakes you. But when you are centered within, even storms simply pass you by. Now understand what the purification of energy is. People think purification means some religious ritual. I say purification means integrity. When your mind, your body, and your consciousness are all in one direction, then you are pure. But most people are not like this. They think one thing, say another, and live a third. This division makes you weak. when you are happy. But somewhere inside there is also a fear. What if this happiness is snatched away? At that very moment, you have mixed poison into your joy. Remember, fear is the greatest evil eye. Others' gazes come later. First, your own gaze affects you. You feel that if you tell someone, something bad will happen, and yet out of fear you tell them anyway. A word spoken with fear always breaks. Therefore, the first formula, free your happiness from fear. Do not cling to happiness. Do not even try to hold it. Just let it be. What is caught is lost. What flows remains. Now, the second formula, become a witness. When someone says something seeing your happiness, a compliment or a taunt, do not react immediately. Look, see what that word is doing inside you. If a single sentence shakes your bliss, then understand you were not yet in bliss. You were just in a good mood. Bliss is not a mood. Bliss is a state of being. Mood changes like the weather. Bliss remains like the sky. Now the third formula, do not forget the body. Energy resides in the body. One who is cut off from the body becomes weak in consciousness as well. I have seen that people who talk constantly, complain constantly, and tell everyone their plans and joys have shallow breathing. Shallow breath means shallow consciousness. Therefore, whenever something beautiful happens within, close your eyes for a few moments, take a deep breath, and let that happiness descend into your breath. When bliss enters the breath, it becomes permanent. Now another deep point, you think people are jealous of your happiness. In reality, they are burning with their own failure. But when you live your happiness quietly, you become a mirror, and a mirror pierces. That is why Buddha said, do not hide your light, but do not show it off either. Let there be light, but let it be natural. Naturalness is the greatest shield. A person who is natural is not hit by any arrow, because he does not become a target. People only target those who show off. Now you may ask, Osho, should we never share our happiness? I say, by all means do so, but first see if you are sharing or proving. If you are sharing, the energy will increase. If you are proving, the energy will fall. Sharing is like the fragrance of a flower. Proving is like perfume, strong, artificial, and short-lived. Now a final formula for this flow, the day your happiness is without any reason, the chapter of the evil eye will end. Because happiness with a reason is always insecure. Happiness without a reason is invincible. Someone can steal happiness that has a cause. No one can even touch happiness that has no cause. And keep in mind, when you are truly blissful, you won't even have the desire to tell anyone, because that which is complete does not advertise. It simply is. That is all for today. Now we descend into another layer. Because the problem is not that you speak. The problem is that you speak without listening. You ask the outside world, not the voice within. Remember, in life, every word is not for every person, and the one who understands this becomes safe. You have seen that talking to some people makes the heart feel light, while talking to others makes it feel heavy. The conversation may be the same, but the effect is different. Why? Because every person's consciousness is not on the same level. Some people listen to you, some people measure you. He who listens accepts, he who measures compares, and from comparison, poison always emerges. Therefore, the first formula of today, not every ear is worthy of hearing, but how would you recognize it? From within. When you think of sharing something with someone, stop for a moment. Close your eyes and ask your heart, will this person be able to handle my happiness? If a feeling of lightness comes from within, speak. If hesitation arises, keep silent. Most people lose their happiness because they are searching for acceptance. They want to say, look, I am also successful. Look, I am also happy. But the one who is truly happy does not need to prove it. Only the one in doubt tries to prove. Listen to a story. There was a seeker. Whenever he experienced depth in meditation, he would tell his friends. Gradually, his meditation began to diminish. He came to me. I asked, what do you do while meditating? He said, I think about what I will tell them today. I laughed. I said, that is the end of meditation. The moment you start planning to share the experience, at that very moment you are out of the experience. Let the experience be completed first. Now understand, silence is not a pressure. Silence is not a sacrifice. Silence is intelligence. Silence means stopping what is not necessary. Just as speaking unnecessarily in the body wastes energy, sharing unnecessarily in the mind wastes energy. Your happiness is also energy, and the waste of energy is foolishness. Now, the second formula, the person who can listen to you without jealousy is the one who is worthy. Such people are very few, sometimes not even one. And if there is no one, then there is existence. Existence listens, trees listen, the sky listens. You will laugh, but I am telling the truth. Sitting under a tree and feeling your happiness is far safer than talking to a jealous person. Nature never casts an evil eye because there is no comparison in nature. Now the third formula, recognize the time. Everything has its time. An unripe fruit, if plucked, is bitter. Some joys are such that it takes years to put them into words, and you post them the very same day. Then you say that happiness is gone. No, you brought it out while it was still half-baked. That which ripens fully within remains safe outside as well. Now, another deep point. Some people are such that upon hearing your happiness, they immediately start giving advice. Be careful. Advice is often a mask for superiority. Where there is love, there is no advice, only listening. Therefore, if someone starts trying to improve your happiness as soon as they hear it, understand that they are not yet happy within themselves, and one who is not happy themselves cannot be a protector of your happiness. Now, the final formula of this flow, silence and sharing, are both arts. Silence should not be out of fear, and sharing should not be out of greed. If you are silent out of fear, you will shrink. If you are silent out of understanding, you will become strong. And this is the difference between a seeker and a coward. Now it is about that bliss which does not come and go, which is not the weather but the ground. Because until your happiness has roots, every wind will shake it, and you will keep saying, I got the evil eye. The evil eye comes later. First, the roots are weak. Look, a tree that looks green from above doesn't necessarily have deep roots. In the first storm, the truth comes out, and the tree that looks ordinary, standing quietly, is the strongest. Happiness also needs roots. People ask, Osho, how are roots formed? I say, roots are formed by stillness. Your problem is not that you don't become happy. Your problem is that you do not stay still. Happiness came, you ran. Happiness left, you cried. This running around makes you hollow. Only the one who stops goes within. Today's first formula, give happiness time. When a beautiful moment comes, do not immediately run to catch it. Do not give it a name. Do not make it a story. Just sit like a lake that is calm, and the moon descends into it. The lake does nothing, it simply is, and the moon descends. Happiness is just like that. He who tries to catch it frightens it away. Now, the second formula, understand the difference between habit and bliss. Most people's happiness is tied to a habit, some person, some object, some situation, and as soon as the habit breaks, the happiness breaks. This is not happiness, it is dependence. Dependence is always insecure. Therefore, I say, do not tie happiness to a single peg. Be grateful for what you have received today, but do not make it a condition. That which stands on a condition never takes root. Now, the third formula, make gratitude a daily practice. Gratitude is the root. Complaint is the axe. The day you complain, you cut your own root. Notice that when you tell everyone your happiness, often a complaint is attached to it. Yes, I am happy, but this but is the poison. If you are happy, be fully happy. If you are sad, be fully sad. The man in the middle is the weakest. Now, a deep point, your happiness will not be stable until it can survive alone. If your happiness needs someone's presence, it is not love, it is attachment. If your happiness needs someone's reaction, it is not bliss, it is ego. That is why I tell seekers, learn to be happy alone for some time, without reason, without witness, without an audience. This practice is difficult because the ego needs an audience. But the one who passes through this difficulty finds a happiness that no one can take away. Now, the fourth formula, descend into the body. If happiness remains in the head, it will become a thought, and thoughts break. Let happiness descend into your stomach, let it descend into your chest, let it descend into your legs. Feel I am happy while walking, not while speaking, but while feeling. That which descends into feeling becomes a root. Now the last and most important formula, once it is stable within, there is no need to hide it from the outside. Then whether you speak or not makes no difference, because then no evil eye can do anything. The evil eye only affects the one who does not trust himself. The day your happiness does not need anyone's approval, this chapter will end. Then you will become natural, you will become simple, and simplicity is the greatest protective shield. We now come to the ground where the modern mind is most entangled. This is a time of noise. There are announcements everywhere, shows, posts, reactions, and you think, if I don't tell anyone, will my happiness remain incomplete? No. Incomplete happiness is that which must be told. Understand, the modern mind is living in a mistake. It has assumed that only what is seen exists. Therefore, people start showing before they start living, and this is a backward journey. Life first happens within, then it appears outside. But you are so busy showing it outside that there is no time left for it to happen within. Let me tell you a straight thing. The happiness that is born for the camera dies with the camera, because it was not happiness but a pose. Today's mind says, if I don't tell everyone, what's the point? I say, if it didn't descend within, what's the point? Remember, there are two types of people in the world. One who shares because they are happy. The other who tries to be happy by sharing. The bliss of the first is deep. The bliss of the second is tired. Now understand an important point. When you make your happiness public, you open it up for public judgment. Now someone will praise, someone will taunt, someone will compare, and your mind, which is not yet stable, will begin to shake from all of them. Then you say you got the evil eye. No, you put your happiness in the marketplace. In the market, everything is weighed, and what becomes weighable no longer remains sacred. Therefore, the first formula of today, keeping your happiness private, is not a weakness, it is maturity. A ripe fruit does not shout from the tree, I am sweet, it ripens quietly. Now you will ask, so should we cut ourselves off from the world? No. I do not teach isolation, I teach balance. You live in the world, but let not the world enter you. You share, but not your soul, only your shadow. Now, another deep point today, people show their happiness because they cannot feel it alone. Sit alone, and if you feel an emptiness within, understand it was not happiness. Happiness should become deeper in solitude, not in a crowd. In a crowd, there is only intoxication. Therefore, I say, if your happiness survives in solitude, it is safe in the world. Now, the second formula, live with simplicity, not for show. Simplicity does not mean you hide. Simplicity means what is neither increasing nor decreasing. He who increases goes into lies. He who decreases goes into fear. Simplicity is free from both. Now, the third formula, a pause from digital noise. Keep some time in the day when you do not share anything, do not look at anything, do not react to anything. Just be. Initially, there will be restlessness. The mind will say something is being missed. Yes, you are missing exactly what was making you sick. Gradually, you will find a new peace. That peace will become the shield of your happiness, and then you will see that no evil eye is affecting you, because now you are full from within. Now, the last point of this flow, the one who protects his happiness is not a miser, he is aware. And only an aware person can truly share, because he has a lot to give. Now pay attention to a very subtle point, because here seekers often miss the mark. When I say do not tell every happiness to everyone, some people begin to become hard from within. They build walls. They think they should not share anything with anyone now. This is also a mistake. If silence is not born of love, it becomes a defense, not compassion. And in defense, hardness gradually creeps in. I do not want to make you hard. I want to make you aware and tender. Remember, tenderness is not weakness. Weakness is unconsciousness. An aware, tender person is the safest. Now understand what compassion is. Compassion does not mean you give your heart to everyone. Compassion means you give respect to everyone, but do not hand over your depth to everyone. Live like a lotus. Stay in the water, but do not get wet by the water. The lotus does not fight the water. It does not blame the water either. It just stays above. This is balance. Now see, some people become sad hearing your happiness. Does this mean they are your enemies? No. They are just in their own darkness, and a person standing in darkness is irritated by light. Therefore, the first formula of compassion, do not be angry with miserable people. They do not want to hurt you. They are themselves wounded. But this does not mean you open your wounds before them. There is a difference between compassion and foolishness. Compassion comes from understanding. Foolishness comes from sentimentality. Now, the second formula, do not hide your happiness, but do not impose it either. If someone asks and you feel comfortable within, speak. If no one asks, remain silent. Do not advertise happiness. Do not even send an invitation to your happiness. Happiness is felt on its own. If someone feels light sitting near you, then understand you are happy in the right way. If someone feels small sitting near you, then understand that somehow ego has entered. Now, the third formula, in compassion, there is no comparison. If you think within, I am happy, he is not, immediately be careful. This thought itself will make your happiness poisonous. True bliss never places itself high. It is natural. Neither the show of humility nor the pride of superiority. Now, a deep point: when you are truly blissful, you do not try to change anyone. You do not give summons. You do not start improving others. Your presence itself is enough. And this is the greatest compassion. That is why I say, if your happiness is piercing someone, speak less. Be more. Being never pierces. Words pierce. Announcements pierce. Now, the final formula of this flow, compassion, means you let someone move at their own pace. You have become fast. That is a good thing. But it doesn't mean you make everyone run. Some people are still learning to walk. You keep running, keep smiling, but do not look back and kick up dust. This much is enough. This is balance, silence, compassion, and bliss. We are now standing at the door where the ordinary mind begins to be left behind. By now, you must have understood that happiness is to be protected, not shown, shared, not proved. But now I am taking you even beyond that, because the ultimate protection is not happiness. The ultimate protection is witnessing. As long as you are attached to happiness, there will be a fear of losing it. And where there is fear, the possibility of the evil eye remains. Now understand what witnessing is. The witness is the one who sees both being happy and being sad. The witness is neither happy nor sad. He just wakes up. You will ask, Osho, then where did the bliss go? I say, the bliss did not go, the bliss changes form. Previously, bliss was an experience. Now bliss becomes your nature. Now it does not come when something happens. It does not go when something is lost. Now it is not your identity, but your foundation. And where there is a foundation, the evil eye does not work, because the evil eye operates on events, not on nature. Now listen to a deep point. When you say, I am happy, you are still to one who is happy and one who knows that he is happy. But when the witness wakes up, I am happy, also falls away, then only being remains. And that which just is, no one can shake. Now understand why the evil eye hits. Because you are attached to some state. Happy today, not tomorrow. Successful today, unsuccessful tomorrow. This swing is what makes you weak. The witness gets off the swing. He sees happiness came, happiness went. But he did not go. That is why Buddha used to smile. Neither in pleasure nor in pain, his smile was that of a witness. Now, the second formula, the practice of becoming a witness. Whenever someone says something, seeing your happiness, praise, or a taunt, immediately step back within. See how the word wants to enter inside, and see whether you are giving it permission or not. The witness does not give permission, he just watches. And that which is watched gradually loses its power. Now, the third formula, learn to let happiness go as well. This is the most difficult. People want to let go of sorrow, not happiness. But the one who cannot let go of happiness is still in fear. True sannyas is the renunciation of happiness as well. Renunciation does not mean don't be happy. Renunciation means don't cling to happiness. Clinging is what invites the evil eye. Now, a disciple said, Master, I am afraid my peace might break. The master said, that which can break was not yours. The peace of the witness does not break because it was not created. Now the final formula of this flow, the day you stop holding on to your happiness as well, on that day, fear, protection, and the evil eye, all these words will fall away. Then no one can snatch your happiness, nor will you need to hide it, because then there is no eye to be affected. Now there is no subject left. Now do not tell every happiness to everyone is also about to be left behind. Because what was worth understanding has been understood. And what was worth living has been lived. I have not come to teach you anything now. I have come to take it all away. Your last clip. Look, when you were at the beginning of this journey, you were afraid of the evil eye. Then you began to understand that happiness must be protected. Then you descended into silence. Then you became a witness. And now neither the evil eye remains, nor the happiness remains, nor the one who protects remains. Now there is only being, and that which just is neither hides nor shows, it just is. Like the sky. The sky does not think about what would happen if clouds come today. It doesn't think about what will happen if lightning strikes today. The sky gives space to everyone, but is bound by no one. Now understand who gets hit by the evil eye, the one who is attached to some form. I am happy is a form. I am successful is a form. My meditation is deep is a form. And every form is fragile. But when you don't even say it, don't even think it, but just how will the evil eye hit? Now there is no me who has a fear of losing something. Therefore, the ultimate truth is not that you hide your happiness. The ultimate truth is that you move beyond happiness. Then there is no need to hide, nor is there a need to tell. Then what happens naturally. If someone asks, you speak. If no one asks, you remain silent. But now this decision does not come from the mind, it comes from existence. And existence never makes a mistake. Now the last thing, the day your happiness becomes so deep that you don't even remember that you're happy, on that day, understand that you have become free. Because then happiness is not an experience, it has become your nature. And the evil eye does not affect nature. Now there is nothing left to say. If anything remains, it is silence. Do not turn it into words, live it. This is the whole message. This is the whole formula. This is the whole of life.